Hi everyone, this is Tracy. Today's project, we are going to be making the cutest little gnome gift card holders. The supplies that we're going to be using, I'm using my Cricut Explorer 2. I've got a standard grip mat. You could also use a light grip mat if it's got good stick to it. If your standard grip mat has too much stick, I wouldn't use that for your cardstock. This is one that's just been well used and that just seems to work best for me. I've got my brayer. This is the glue I'm going to be using, the Barely Art Precision Craft Glue, my favorite glue. A couple of weeding tools. Different colors of cardstock. This is what I'm going to be using for this project. These are Encore brand, and I of course will leave the link for all the supplies that I use. This right here, you can use foam tape, you could use foam squares, whatever it is that you're comfortable with, but I found this at the Dollar Tree. I actually saw this in another project that somebody else had recommended. I don't remember what crafter it was, but this foam pop dot tape is what it's called from the Dollar Tree. It's got 3 different rolls inside of it, and this is what I'm going to be using for my project. This is what we're going to be making. These cute little gift card holders. You flip it over and you put your gift card in the back. It just slides right in just like that. Obviously you can do whatever colors that you like. If you wanted to make it into an ornament, wouldn't be hard. You could just pop a hole right in there and then hang it on the tree if you wanted to. You also could do, if you didn't want to put the top on the front of the little ornament, you could use HTV to put somebody's name in here. You could put somebody's name on the brim. You could do the year on there. Lots of different options with this one. But I'm going to go ahead and bring it into Design Space, show you guys how to get it set up, and then take it start to finish so you guys can make your very own gnome gift card holder. Okay, so here we are inside of Cricut Design Space, and this is what your SVG is going to look like when it lands on your canvas. Before we go any further, I want to just go ahead and point out your screen might look different than mine. Design Space has had quite a few updates lately. I have seen in different Facebook groups and different tutorials that the screens look different. I have not gotten the update. I've gotten a couple of them, but not the one major one where the top thing is all different up here. So I just wanted to point that out. Your screen might look different than mine, depending on when you're seeing this video. It doesn't change the functions of what we're doing. I just wanted to point it out. If it looks different, don't panic. Okay, so let's go ahead and right-click and ungroup this. With this design, I gave you 2 different ornaments here. And like I mentioned in the supplies list, if you did not want to use the front part, like you don't want to use this part right here, that you could leave that off. And you could just go ahead and do whatever color you want on here. You could write a message on here by hand. You could use HTV. If you have not done HTV on cardstock before, I have several other videos showing how to do that. I'll go ahead and leave some links in the description so you guys can take a look at that if you haven't done it before. So easy and just makes your design, takes it to the whole nother level. But you could do a name on here, you could write a little personal message, you could do a name on the hat brim if you wanted to. Lots of different design options that you could do with that, but I wanted to point that out. So like I said, you are getting 2 different ornaments. I'm going to go ahead and group this because I'm not using this one. I'm going to do this one here. You've got your little topper right there. You've got the little swirl part, the color, and then the back. And then for your gnome, you've got that white part, this part, the hat brim, the hat. These are where your gift card is going to go. We're going to go ahead and ungroup that. It's 2 different pieces. This is the part that's going to go on the front. When you glue them together, I should say that's going to go on the front, but you're going to flip this and glue down to the back of that. And I'll show you when we get over there. But I just wanted to show you how easy this project is. All you're going to do is cut it out and glue it together. So let's go ahead and save this. So this is the screen where it shows you all the different mats that you need. And depending on the cardstock that you're using, if you would like to move some around, which I like to do. And for this one, I'm going to be using, let's go ahead and click continue. If you guys have done this part before, if you've seen how this is done, you can skip over this part. I just like to always bring this up. So if I've got a follower who has never cut cardstock before or don't really know where to find the settings, that this may help them. So over here, this is your base material. All that you see up here, these are all settings that I use a lot, so I have bookmarked them. But for this particular cardstock that I'm going to be using, this is a shiny mirror. I'm going to go to Browse All Materials, and actually what I'm going to be using for this one is called Foil Poster Board. That's the setting that I used when I cut it earlier with my test cut, and it cut perfectly. So for that one, I'll just go ahead and click on it and click Done, and it's already set. I don't have to do anything else. For the other ones, if you've not cut cardstock before with your Cricut, I would go ahead and do a test cut first. But just to give you an example, like, let me click cancel here so you guys can see I'm going to go back. The nose And the rest of these pieces right here, this is all from Encore brand. It's a textured cardstock. It is 85 pound, I believe. With those, and I like to move my elements around as well too, if you guys have not seen that before. So for example, if you wanted to move this to another mat, you could do over here, and like just remember that you would put a piece of the nose color cardstock down here, and then your green would go up here, or whatever colors that you're using. But then I would go ahead and click continue, and for my Encore cardstock, for the textured cardstock, the setting that works best for my machine is heavy cardstock with less pressure. But again, do test cuts, make sure that you've got your machine cutting the way that you like to before you put a whole sheet of cardstock on there and then it rips and you don't like it. But anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and point that out, and I'm going to show you how to get everything cut up, and we'll put it all together so you guys can make a cute little cardstock gift card holder for yourself. Okay, first piece I'm going to cut is this white right here. Go ahead and put your cardstock on your mat, and then use your brayer to push it down to your cutting mat so that it sticks better. And I'm just going to go ahead and load it. Now I'm using my Cricut Explorer 2, and I have my dial set to custom, and I just set my settings on the design space screen like I showed you earlier. Okay, go ahead and get this one cut. Okay, I like to take my little hook and make sure that everything cut through okay. And it did. So I'm going to go ahead and push this to unload it. If your cardstock did not cut all the way through and you want to do it again, do not unload it. Just hit your C button again and it will cut it again. Okay, but this one is all right. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over and remove my cardstock from my mat. And then set this aside and keep on going. Okay, for my hat brim and my mittens, I decided to do a pattern cardstock. This I also got from 12 by 12 cardstock. I can't remember the name of it, but of course, like I said, I'll leave the link for everything. But I'm going to do this one for the little hat brim and the gloves. Okay, I got all my pieces cut, so let's go ahead and assemble, and I'll show you how to put this all together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue this white piece to the red piece. And I want to make sure that everything is the correct way before I apply my glue. And you don't need glue down here at the bottom, so I'm going to put glue on this. And then for his hat, I'm going to use the foam tape on that. And this is what it looks like. And I'm just going to cut off pieces. Got my little scissors here that I brag about every time I do a tutorial, because you can cut this foam stuff or the sticky adhesive and it won't stick to your scissors. But this would also work if you have the foam squares. I just like this because I was able to cut it easily, and I can cut it down the center to make the pieces smaller. But you do what's comfortable for you and use what you have. No need to go out and buy a whole bunch of new stuff. Okay, and then another little trick I like to do, and I mentioned this in most all my tutorials that have glue and adhesive, I like to put a little bit of glue on the back of my adhesive strips here, so that gives me a little extra time to reposition if I need to, because you know, once that adhesive sticks on the cardstock, it's very hard to take off and move around. So okay, go ahead and line it up the best you can. I find it easier to get it on the top first and then just kind of hover it over before I push it down completely. Okay. And I'm also going to use the foam tape on the back of my little hat brim here. Before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and glue this, so this has time to dry before we stick our gift card in there. So you've got the two pieces here, and these are going to go on the back. So I want to make sure I've got them the correct way. They need to line up. Okay, so you see I got that one wrong. They do match, so make sure you've got it lined up. And then you're going to glue it together, and it's going to go on the back of this back here. But for right now, all I'm going to do is glue this. I'm going to put my gift card inside of here, and that's going to glue together. But this way will help me to know where to put the glue, so I don't put too much glue on and won't be able to get it inside of there. But I like to do this first so that it dries while I'm doing the rest of the project. And you don't want to put it at the top, obviously. And then I'll glue this right on here. Just line it up and stick it down and let it dry while you're doing the rest of your project. Okay, set that aside and come back to this. Do you guys give a lot of gift cards for Christmas? My children are grown, they each have a spouse, and I have one grandchild, so they love to get gift cards. And of course, if I'm going to give a gift card, I want it to be cute. It doesn't have to be, but you know, if I'm a crafter, I want it to be cute. And I like to do something personalized each year, so I made some Snowman gift cards earlier. If you guys haven't seen those, that's what these things are here, the little gift card slide in there. This is also a freebie on the website, and you guys can check out the link. I'll leave it on the blog post. If you want to grab those, you can. Those are free, but I like to do personalized things every year for my kids and for my grandson. It's just something that makes me happy, and I think they enjoy it. For years to come, they'll have something to look back on, I guess. Okay, so there's the top. So let's go ahead and put this ornament together. And I am just going to glue this piece on here. And like I was saying, this would be a really good spot to, if you wanted to write a personal message or add HTV to this, you could do that. HTV is so much fun and so easy to put on cardstock if you haven't done it before. I highly suggest that you try it. Okay, and then this is going to go on here. Just add your glue to the back. And then this part goes on the top. That's why I made this part separate, because if you decided to keep this off, you could, and you could just do the little top part. That's part of my favorite thing of crafting, is being able to make each thing unique. Make one look different from the next, or you can make them all the same. That's going to dry clear, but I always like to run my little hook in there and take out the little extra if it oozes over a little. Okay, so the back of this, actually let's go ahead and put his nose on first before I forget. Now because there is foam underneath the little hat brim and underneath his the top of the hat right here, I'm going to double up the foam tape that I put on here so that it sticks up high enough. So when you put your foam on this part, because it's going to be sitting like this, you want your foam to be down towards the bottom. So I'm going to just double this up, take one little stick off right here, take the paper off, and cut another little piece to go right on top of it so that it sits up higher. And my glue again. And then like I said, because this already has foam in it, when this goes on, because it's double-sided, it'll stick up higher. Or not double-sided, but layered. Okay, so just like that, you got his little nose on there. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing with my ornament. I'm going to put two pieces on. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to double tape this. I'm not going to put any glue on that top little swirl right there. I don't really think it needs it. This would work the same if you've got foam squares. They do make some that are really super high that you could use if you wanted to, but I don't have the really thick ones. So doubling up works just as well. Okay, so when you go to put your little ornament on, make sure you leave enough room for hands on the side. Because they're going to fasten on the side, you want to make sure that the hands have something to fasten to. So when you put them on, don't bring it all the way over here. You want to make sure that you put it on so that you've got room for your hands. Okay, like that. And let's go ahead and put those back legs on. I'm just going to glue these on. You don't need glue down here. You only need it to this part. Okay, and you can see where it lines up. So just go ahead and glue that on. And now I'm going to put his little hands on. Same thing with the hands that you did with the nose. I'm going to double it up because it is raised up, and you want to make sure that you've got your tape farther to the back so that it sits on the beard. Do you guys do traditional colors when you do Christmas gifts? The reds and the greens? Or do you like to do your own thing like the little bougie gold glitter ones here? I tend to go to the traditional colors, but like I said, I like to personalize and I like to do things that other people enjoy. Like my daughter and daughter-in-law love pink, so I'll tend to do pink for theirs. Look how quick that was. Already all put together. And then you just take your gift card and you slip it right in the back. Just like that. You could, like I said, definitely punch a little hole in here to make it an ornament if you want to, or you can leave it just the way it is. A couple different options for your colors. You guys could do whatever colors that make you happy. Bring these back a little bit here so you can see more. But that's it, guys. You can find this week's freebie in the freebie library. It is design number 261. I will leave the names of all the supplies that I used, where you can find them. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. I love having new crafty friends. Check out all the other freebies that are on my website. Lots of things for Christmas, holidays coming up. But thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you. Until next time, have a wonderful day on purpose.